Welcome back. We're talking trade lines, and this is part 3 of the Trade Lines Masterclass. If you haven't by now, make sure that you've subscribed. Most importantly, watch all of the series parts inside of this masterclass. Now, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Make sure that you have fully watched part 1 and part 2 before you get to this video. This is very important information because if you are looking to boost your credit score, this is the channel you need to be subscribed to, guys. This is the type of information that you need to know. I always tell you guys, if you knew better, you would do better, and that's exactly why I make these videos. So let's talk about adding authorized user trade lines to your credit profile. It absolutely is a game changer, fastest way to boost your credit score. And inside of this masterclass, I'm going to be showing you some live results of one of my clients, and they worked with other people before me, were not able to get these type of results. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did, the steps that we took, and how we were able to create a game plan and go after funding. And it's been a complete game changer for her because we are focused on quality trade lines from real banks and financial institutions, so we can use those as comparable credit, and she can leverage that now on the business side. So before you add authorized user trade lines, there's a few housekeeping things that you want to make sure that you have gone through. All right, you want to remove all fraud alerts from your credit profile. If you look at your credit report with Experian or 𝑪𝒓𝒆𝒅𝒊𝒕, you want to go down right below the personal information, I believe it is, and you want to look at the consumer statement. But if you do look at 𝑪𝒓𝒆𝒅𝒊𝒕, you'll be able to see if there are fraud alerts on there or not, and they'll have like a little check mark on the bureaus that have a fraud alert. And then you want to look at what is under your consumer statement. If it says no statement, perfect. That's what we want. We want no statement, because a lot of times people, they've disputed things on their credit report, or they went through credit repair, and next thing you know, there's a fraud alert on their credit profile saying, hey, before you extend credit, call me at this number, or, you know, some story about how they didn't authorize this, that, and the other, which nobody asked them to put there. They just do these type of stupid things. So we have to get those things removed. Fastest way to remove the consumer statement or fraud alert would be to call into the credit bureau as if you were a customer. Call in as if you were a credit monitoring customer to get a live agent on the phone, and then you can get transferred to the fraud department. Since there is a fraud alert and it's a consumer statement, you need to speak with the fraud department. They're the ones that actually have the ability to be able to update that, remove information from your bureau, and so on and so forth. And if you need to correct any personal information, do it during that call as well, and let them know if there is, you know, an old or outdated address. Hey, I cannot receive mail at that address. This is not my address. I only have one address in which I receive mail at, and that is this address. And then you would want to go ahead and send them in that written notice as well, along with proof. Proof of address can be a utility bill or any statement, and it needs to include all like 4 corners, right? You can black out like the account information and stuff, but it needs to clearly have the logo of the company, the statement period, the date, you know, your information very clear. So it needs to be a very clear, legible copy of proof of address. Okay, and again, utility bill, it can be an insurance statement, it can be a bank statement, it can be any sort of official statement. Okay, but it needs to be dated within the last 30 days. That's really important. Okay, so that way they can see that this is a current proof of address. All right, and then a copy of your driver's license. It's not a big deal if your driver's license doesn't have your correct address on it. I would try to get that updated if I were you, but you know, I have the same situation where I use a different address on my driver's license and I just haven't went and got a new one, but I still have the correct address. Okay, so just send in the proof of address, photo ID. That's so they can verify who you are, and then a copy of your social security card, again, because you want to verify that you are who you say you are. And then you can send that in to them, certified mail return receipt, so that way you can verify that they received it and ensure that they have updated everything on your report. So there is no fraud alert, no consumer statement. You only have one name and one accurate address. Okay, that's important. You don't have to correct the personal information before you get authorized user trade lines, but you do have to correct the fraud alerts. You don't understand. I've had so many people that did not follow the instructions and then tried to add trade lines, and guess what? They don't post, because there's a fraud alert and it says don't extend credit until you call this phone number. So it will stop trade lines from actually posting on your credit report. So that's why it's a must. So when I look at your profile and you have fraud alerts on there, it's like, okay, well, that's probably why it didn't post, because nothing can post right now. You have fraud alerts. So remove freezes, remove any consumer statements. Sometimes I'll see like a whole story in a consumer statement field, right? And usually the fraud alerts and the consumer statement are the same thing, right? So on my FICO, it'll say fraud alerts, and it'll have a check mark, but then under the consumer statement, that's where it will say, you know, victim of fraud, call this number before extending credit, verify everything. And then that personal or consumer statement, depending on where you're looking at the data, it can also say a story, you know, because agents put that information in there without our knowledge. So whenever you're calling in to the bureaus and they ask, do you want to put a security freeze? Do you want to put a fraud alert on your credit profile? No, because it's just not needed. If you are concerned, you can lock and unlock your credit profile inside of the apps, okay? But get all that stuff removed. We would need everything clear, so there's no reason why the trade line would be prevented or blocked from being reported. All right, so it's important for you to understand, even if you're just building credit, maybe you're purchasing trade lines from another vendor, that's fine. I always tell people, if something sounds too good to be true, you look at my prices and then you look at somebody else's prices and you're like, oh my god, they're so much cheaper. Let me tell you something, okay? I just had that happen to somebody, and this is what happened. They had to make a complaint against them, and they saw their ad on social media, and then this company was so horrible. They tried to say that was not their business, but I'm trying to find it. Here is a prime example of somebody who thought she was going to find a better deal, and guess what? She ended up having a horrible experience. So whenever you see trade lines that are super cheap, beware. And you also have to understand that some of the terms that we offer are for longer. Most companies out there are only offering a 45-day period, which they call 2 cycles. So after that second cycle hits, they remove you, which is about 45 days. Some terms on our offerings are 2 months and some are 3 months. So that way, if you are looking for a cheaper option, we can do a shorter time frame. But the thing about our trade lines, they are guaranteed. So if for some reason it doesn't post, we will replace it with the next best option, so you won't be in a situation like this. So here's some things to consider as well. Credit card dates. These are important dates that you must know. We've got the due date, right? Set it up for auto pay, and then if you need to make additional payments to reduce your credit utilization throughout the month, you always can. But you want to make sure that you have the auto pay set up for the minimum amount due no matter what. The closing date, statement date, that's the same thing, and it's basically the end of your billing cycle. So every credit card out there has a particular cycle, right? And if you ever want to change your cycle, all you have to do is just call your credit card company and say, hey, I want my billing cycle to end on the 15th, or I want my billing cycle to end on the 28th. And that way you can have some of your cards on one cycle and another bunch of your cards on another cycle. So if you ever did need to do a balance transfer to hide the utilization, you certainly could, right? So say for example, you have a credit card and the statement date ends on the 15th. If you add someone to that credit card, or if you're being added to a trade line, it's important to understand no matter what, okay? And some people lie and some people are dishonest. I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this a long time. The trade line reports within 10 business days. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer if there's holidays, but the updates will show up on the credit reports about 10 business days after the statement date. So if your statement date is on the 15th, you can expect to see that card report to your credit reports by the 25th, or it might be a few extra days in some cases. But usually cards that report the fastest are like Discover, because they actually report data to the credit bureaus on the statement date. And then you have other banks like Capital One, where they actually report their updates to the credit bureaus 3 days after the closing date. So that's why it can vary. Each bank is different, but you'll start seeing the trade line pop up against your credit, and then sometimes you might see it on a certain bureau first, and then it'll pop up on the others a couple days later. So just give it some time to cycle through. If the trade line for some reason hasn't reported within 15 days, a few things that you want to look at is when did you get added to the card, because sometimes you don't get added in time to make the cutoff period to make that current cycle. So it would be the following cycle where it would actually report on your credit. But that's why I always tell people the deadline to make any changes to authorized users is at least 5 to 7 business days before the end of that closing cycle. So again, if you are closing on the 15th, then we would need to add anyone to that card by at least the 10th, right? And if there's any holidays in between, or if it's a bank like PenFed where we have to do a manual form to upload the trade lines, it's going to be a little bit longer. So the more that you can plan, the better, but I understand a lot of people are in a rush and they want it done as fast as possible. I'm used to that. So the minimum turnaround time for a trade line to report to your credit is approximately 15 days, right? Because we need to add someone at least 5 business days prior to the statement date, right? And then it would take about 10 business days for that trade line to report. It's still the fastest way to boost your credit score, but that's the minimum, right? And then sometimes if you don't make the cutoff, it can be 30 days, it could be 45 days. So it can vary, but that's why it's really important to understand these dates and what they mean and how they can benefit you, especially if you are going to be purchasing a trade line, or maybe you're going to be, selling SOTs on your credit cards, right? Generally, the credit cards are going to report to all 3 credit bureaus. So in the event that it doesn't report to maybe one, that is something that we would not cover, because sometimes it just doesn't report to all 3. Generally, I really don't see that issue. We guarantee that the trade line would post to a minimum of 2 out of the 3 bureaus. If we see the credit card on all 3 credit bureaus for the card holder, then we would list the card. If we do not list the card. So we verify the data based on the card holder's credit report. We verify that it has 100% on-time payments, and we also verify that it has less than a 15% credit usage, right? Now, reporting date. We talked about that. That's the date that it's going to update on your credit report. I don't care what anyone else has ever told you. Again, you have to sometimes retrain your brain and understand that people don't always tell the truth, or maybe they're just misinformed. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to make a sale. You never know, right? But the end goal here is to understand this is this is it. This is what it is, okay? And sometimes people say, well, you know, I have a Discover card, it can report in 5 days. That's probably correct because they report a lot quicker. Some cards that actually report to the credit bureaus on the closing date are going to show up quicker on someone's credit report. But I never like to promise results like that because you just have no control over it. So, you know, I'm one of those people that likes to kind of over deliver, under promise and over delivers because actions speak way louder than any words. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. If you haven't subscribed by now to the channel, please do subscribe. Make sure you give me a huge thumbs up and comment below if you have any questions. Let me know if you are interested in Tradelines. I will send you our Tradelines list. You also want to check out the free credit kit that I put together for you guys. Ton of free value. And I also have our updated Tradelines list inside of the credit kit. If you are a member of the credit community, you do receive discounts on personal and business trade lines. Now we're going to cut it off right here. In the next part of this Tradelines masterclass, we're going to be covering one of my VIP client stories, how we got those type of results by using Tradelines and leveraging some of the strategies that we covered together in our coaching sessions. Because this was a person that had already paid somebody else. She was actually already paying somebody for credit repair when we first spoke, and it just didn't work out. Okay, so we're going to be covering how she was able to get a $20,000 credit card from not only Navy Federal but many other approvals as well. So she was actually able to acquire over $100,000 in funding, and this is just the beginning. This was just round one of her getting funding with different, you know, personal and business products by leveraging her personal credit and maximizing her credit profile and the data on her credit profile, because she wasn't getting these type of approvals before, and it was really challenging. So, and it took a while, you know, it didn't happen overnight, but we created a game plan and executed. And that's the most important part, is execution, right? And understanding the details of every level. And that's why it's so important to watch all of these videos, because I really break things down for you guys and give you the information that you need to know, because you know how I say, if you knew better, you would do better, my friends. I'll see you next time.